What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, and it's been an even longer time since I've done a proper movie review, but I wasn't not gonna review this movie. I mean, if you know me personally, you know I was not gonna miss an opportunity to see this movie as quickly as I can and to review this movie on my channel as quick as I can. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Our lives are not defined by any one action. Our lives are the sum of our choices.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning once again stars Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt and is once again written and directed by Christopher McQuarrie, the man who brought us Rogue Nation all the way through to this film. And in this movie, Ethan Hunt and his team are set out to destroy the entity once and for all. That's as simple as I can get into without going into spoilers. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil this movie, but if you've seen Dead Reckoning, then you basically know what they're set out to do in this movie. So like I said earlier, it's been a long time since I've done a proper movie review. In fact, I don't even remember the last time I did a proper movie review, but also, like I said, I wasn't not gonna review this movie. I mean, if you've watched my channel or know me personally, you know how much I love these movies. I love the Mission Impossible series unapologetically, no matter how many people tell me I'm dumb for liking them, no matter how many people I know tell me I'm dumb for liking Tom Cruise or whatever. I've heard it all before. I am an unapologetic fan of this franchise, and I'm an unapologetic fan of Tom Cruise as an actor. I even made sure I got the AMC popcorn bucket for this movie. Looks kind of cool. Up there, I got the drink cup, which I don't really buy the drink cups, but this one was cool because it had the binoculars. It kind of has like a night vision thing on it. And I even got the one sheet poster that AMC usually gives out. It's got this side, and the other side recreates the first poster for Mission Impossible, only with current Tom Cruise's face on it. It's really cool. I wasn't not gonna get a poster for this one. I got a poster for Dead Reckoning. But yes, it goes without saying, I love these movies so much. Even 2, I have a sort of soft spot for 2, even though it's not the best in the series. In fact, it's absolutely the worst in the series, but it's got some fun moments, and I do enjoy watching the stupid, dumb action from time to time. But Mission Impossible 1, 3, and Ghost Protocol all the way through to Dead Reckoning, I either really liked or really, really loved. In fact, I was teetering back and forth on whether this franchise was my favorite action franchise or not. It was between this and James Bond. So as you can imagine, when the word came out that Tom Cruise was stepping down as Ethan Hunt after this movie, and this movie was even retitled The Final Reckoning, and they're even advertising it as the final Mission Impossible movie, I got excited, I got a little worried, I got a bunch of emotions going through me up to this movie's release. I stayed away from spoilers, thankfully. I just wanted to go into this movie as blind as possible. The only thing I really knew about it was that there were going to be some callbacks to previous movies, and that was really it. And going into this movie completely blind, you really want to do that. However, I will say you should catch up on all the Mission Impossible movies if you're going to go see this movie and you either haven't seen the earlier ones in a long period of time or just haven't seen them at all. You've only seen the recent ones. Definitely catch up on the earlier ones. You're really going to need it for this one. And surprisingly, I've been seeing a little bit of mixed feedback with this movie before I went to see it. And, you know, it was kind of a reminder to keep my expectations in check. I need to do that with every movie. We all need to do that with every movie we go into, because we don't want to be overwhelmed with so much excitement that we're just blinded by it. So it was just a reminder for me about that. But enough beating around the bush. How is The Final Reckoning? Well, I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan of this franchise, but I'm saying it because I really did feel this. I loved the hell out of The Final Reckoning. I, honest to God, did. I was watching the movie like a hawk. I was watching it for any sort of like flaws or any story elements that didn't quite sit well with me, any problems, because this one was getting a little more mixed reactions than Ghost Protocol from Dead Reckoning ever got. So I was really paying attention to this one. And there are a couple of issues that I feel like I should point out, but overall, This movie was just a wave of emotions, a wave of anxiety, a wave of intensity, all of the above. This movie delivered on it for me. Does it even go without saying that Tom Cruise is terrific as Ethan Hunt? In fact, this might be his best performance as Ethan Hunt. And seeing what his character has gone through since the very beginning of this franchise, to 2, to 3, to Ghost Protocol, all the way until this one, it left me very happy knowing that he gave one more great performance to kind of put this character to bed and to really deliver home emotions that this character needs to deliver in order to sell what he's going through in this movie, what everything has led to up until this movie. In fact, that's the whole marketing for this movie. Everything has led to this.
Everything you were, everything you've done has come to this.
But no doubt in my mind, this is Tom Cruise's best performance as Ethan Hunt. He really did a great job, as did everyone else in the movie. Haley Atwell, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, all the characters from previous movies and the previous movie itself, Dead Reckoning, they all bring their A game. The performance-wise, I don't think anyone really was expecting anything less than terrific, because everyone is terrific in the movie. And the stunts. Holy hell, the stunts. This is probably some of the best stunt work in this entire franchise. I know the Burj Khalifa scene in Ghost Protocol and the airplane taking off in Rogue Nation, those are absolute highlights of this franchise, don't get me wrong, but the plane scene, which is all over the advertisement, hell, it was just on the poster that I showed you, the underwater scene that the trailers have been showing, all the stunt work, it's mind-boggling that they were able to pull it off, and it's mind-boggling that Tom Cruise, at 63 years old, is still here and alive doing these stunts. It's nuts. Most action stars in their 30s don't do the amount of stunt work that this guy does. The only actor working today that I can really think of is obviously Jackie Chan, but Keanu Reeves. Besides that, it's amazing the level of dedication that Tom Cruise has put himself into when doing these stunts, and it paid off. Every single one of them kept me at the edge of my seat, kept me claustrophobic, gave me anxiety, gave me all kinds of nerve-wracking emotions. So we all knew that stuff was going to be top-notch for this movie. It's the storyline that I've seen a lot of people talk about, and while I can understand other people's point of view of it, I don't really agree with a lot that's been said about it. A lot of people say that it's very thin, very paper thin, not a lot of meat to the bones. I personally didn't feel that. I was able to follow everything that was going on. The only thing I can really say, and this could lead to some of my issues with the movie, is that it's very exposition heavy. Now, Mission Impossible has always explained their plots exposition-like. You know, if you've seen the movies or seen any bits of the TV show, we all know that the lead agent, in the movie's case, Tom Cruise, gets his mission via voice recording, explains everything that he needs to do in the movie, and then we get the famous, this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds, the thing blows up, you know the thing. So they've always been kind of exposition heavy, but I can understand the complaint with this movie a little bit, because it does have to explain a lot, and it's a lot of telling you what's going on instead of showing you. And like I said, I can understand that with this movie, because this movie isn't just trying to wrap up the story that was introduced in Dead Reckoning. It's trying to bring together all the Mission Impossible movies. There's callbacks to Mission Impossible 1, definitely Mission Impossible 1, and even Mission Impossible 3, that I feel like if you haven't seen those movies, or haven't seen them recently before seeing this, you're going to be a little bit confused. And I don't know. To me, it didn't bother me all that much. I understood why they did that. There are a lot of flashback scenes, which I've heard a lot of people aren't really that happy with. I'm indifferent to it. I didn't mind the flashback scenes. It did start to be a little too much after a while. But again, I feel like the movie needed that to make sure the audience is on board with what this movie is doing that calls back to the other movies. And I really don't know another way around it. There probably is one. I'm not a screenwriter. I'm not a director. I'm not a producer. I'm just a fan that likes watching these movies. Personally, I don't really know another way around it besides showing flashback scenes and having characters explain certain things that happened. And with the bringing of certain characters back from previous movies, I thought that was a nice touch. I didn't expect it. I don't really know what other people think about it. I haven't really been paying attention to that. But I thought it was a nice touch. I didn't expect them to do that. It was a little interesting bringing a certain event that happened in a previous movie back into play with this one. But as a hardcore fan of the series, I did enjoy seeing it, and I did think it was handled pretty well. But guys, overall, I really can't say a whole lot more without getting into spoilers. All I can really say is that I'm not fanboying out with this movie. I really, honest to God, enjoyed it. I loved it so much. I think it did the best job that it could, bringing together the previous movies and with the story that Dead Reckoning set up, and tied it together pretty well. The action, the stunt work, we all knew was going to be terrific. They were really selling home those stunt works in the trailers. We knew performance-wise was going to be, top-notch. The emotion, I thought, was there. I felt it. I got teary-eyed and a little emotional at certain parts, especially the ending. I will say that the final shot of the movie, I was pretty satisfied with. It did give me a little bit teary-eyed, and I was very happy leaving the theater. I love these movies so much, and the Final Reckoning, though it didn't live up to all fans' expectations like the previous films did, it did for me, and at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. I can only speak to how I felt. I do have a couple of small problems with the movie, but it didn't detract my overall enjoyment of it. And for that, I'm giving Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning an Oscar worthy. I think this movie deserves it. I think it really does. Just on the stunt work and the cinematography and directing alone, I think it definitely deserves that. But a lot of the complaints that I've been seeing, I either don't fully agree with or I just flat out don't understand. Again, small problems like I mentioned earlier, it didn't take it away from me.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
So guys, that's it for my review. Let me know what you thought about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning down in the comment section below. I know I've been slacking on videos, especially movie reviews, but, life happens. Stuff gets in the way. I don't have as much free time as I used to make videos anymore. I will try my best. I know I always keep saying that, but, again, life gets in the way. But if you're still stuck around and you're watching this video, then thank you for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you that has still stuck with my channel and that still watches my videos from time to time. So I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like and share it. Subscribe right here if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, take care.